Hi, I'm Nathan Freeberg of Cave and Freeberg LLP, a worldwide court-martial defense firm. So, you're going to a court-martial, and you've heard that the standard of proof is beyond a reasonable doubt, just like any other criminal trial in the United States. But what does that mean? It doesn't mean that the proof has to be beyond any doubt, but it does mean that the government has to prove their case to what's known as an evidentiary certainty, which is legal speak for beyond any doubt that's really logical or it could be supported by the evidence in some way. So what does that mean? What it means is that if there is another explanation for the evidence, another rational explanation for the witness testimony, such as that they're lying for a certain reason or they're mistaken in some way, if there's another rational explanation for the evidence, then the panel, which is the term for the military jury, must acquit you. That's what beyond a reasonable doubt means. Now, prosecutors will try to play games with this, and what happens at the end of a court martial is the panel is instructed on reasonable doubt. And in the Army and in the Coast Guard, they get a definition for reasonable doubt that says it's a fair and rational hypothesis other than that of guilt. But if you're in the Air Force or the Navy or the Marine Corps, you get a different instruction that says something more about how proof must be to an evidentiary certainty. Ultimately, that should mean the same thing, but I do think that the Army and Coast Guard instruction makes it clear that if there's another explanation for the evidence, the panel must acquit you. And that's the basic definition of reasonable doubt. Now, why do we have this standard? Because we know that innocent people are convicted far too often. I've seen it in courts martial, I've seen it in trials. We've all seen cases where many years later, it turns out that they got the wrong person. So what happened? What usually happened was that there was some guessing, both by the prosecution and by the panel, by the jury. They filled in some gaps. The evidence wasn't quite all the way there, but it sure looked like he's guilty or she's guilty, and so they convicted. So what the most important job your attorney has at a court martial is to hold the prosecution to that standard, to that beyond a reasonable doubt standard, and make them prove everything. Because if you're innocent, they can't. So if you're looking for an attorney for a court martial and want to talk some more and get some more advice, give us a call, 202-931-8509. That's 202-931-8509.